Hey, there are only about 6 tomorrows left until Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 come out as a finalist. Naturally, I decided to learn an editing program to make a video about a topic that will be outdated in less than a week. Let this be a time capsule of sorts. I will forever miss this time after chapter 2. It is near and dear to my heart. At least the Deltarune part, not really my real life. Let's establish the premise first. Chapters 1 and 2 have secret bosses, Devil and Spamton respectively, that you can access by solving optional puzzles and talking to NPCs. These secret bosses give us a piece of equipment, depending on whether you spare or kill them, and also give you a shadow crystal. It is incredibly likely that there will be one in every chapter, considering the shadow crystals are literally tracked on the chapter select screen. We actually know quite a bit about our next secret boss. For one, if you look at this lovely put together picture of Trump's dialogue after collecting 2 crystals, we will apparently need a shadow mantle to defeat them, which was stolen by someone. I have a slew of theories on what actually happened and will happen. Actually, let's talk about this. I have to mention that I saw this really great video on the topic. I largely agree with the theories presented in it, as well as the comments. My leading theory is that the secret boss will make our soul green, and we will need something to protect us. Rose Guard is in our imagery at the end of chapter 2, so I think the king stole the shadow mantle, then it flew away at the end of the boss fight, and Rose got it. This is because I theorized that he will help us the same way Lancer did in chapter 2. Again, I urge you to check out the video, link in the description, because this was the jumping off point to this prediction. Our next clip of chapter 3 secret boss is a line from Spamton about Mike. We have no idea what that name relates to. It could be a secret about Spamton's life, or something with past identity. I find this unsatisfying because we have so much info about him, yet Mike doesn't really fit anywhere. It could be the man on the phone, but to me it being Aster or something relating to him makes more sense, and Mike isn't connected to it at all. Anyways, considering secret bosses, similarly to Sham, know about each other, this Mike is more like the name of our next secret boss, further backed up by Spamton telling us not to trust anything we see on TV, because chapter 3 will revolve around said TV. I will talk about what this actually means later. Now it's to actually figuring out what can become a secret boss, and what will likely be untouched or turned into a regular darkner. Secret bosses have so far been things that are forgotten, discarded, unwanted, like a joker in a set of cards or a spam email. The chapter 3 Dark Fountain is in the Dreamer household, so it will be something in the vicinity. TD will likely be the main boss, because it's so often showed, and their name might be Tenna, like a TV antenna. This is info from a Toby Fox post. It's super unlikely that he spelled the secret boss's name so randomly and in such a manner. Let's finally look at specific examples of what can become the secret boss. Starting with Chris in Asriel's room, Asriel has tons of fingers on his side. The most notable one being, to me, the computer. You'll probably agree that it would be silly, after just having a computer-themed chapter, to have a secret boss that is a computer, or even the game Asriel was making. It's simply too soon. Though the game is unfinished, so it could work with the theming, if it weren't for the placement of the chapter. On Chris' side, the only thing of note we see is a birdcage that our soul was put into at the end of chapter 1. To me, it feels like it was used for that scene, and not that relevant anymore. Chris just puts their soul wherever now. In the hallway, we see Toriel's locked door, so if a secret boss comes from there, we would have no way to predict it, because we have never gotten it. Moving on, we have a mirror, mandatory in a Toby Fox theme, and a cactus. There is a subtle joke about Andrea's description of the same thing. I don't see how any of those could end up being an important character, nor do they make sense with the theming of secret bosses. The bathroom is actually kind of interesting. There are 2 shampoo bottles which I think are prime darkner material, just not the secret boss. The cabinet is the same thing as the cage, and the toilet is just a gag. Next, this is where the burnt potatoes for this video are. The trash can. If you didn't know, It starts off with a floral scent. Toru is throwing away the flowers that Asker gives her. Later, in the leopard segment of chapter 1, Asker asks you to give him some flowers, and if you do, the scent will increase. I think this is perfect for a secret boss. It's exactly as I mentioned. These flowers are not welcomed in Torio's house. Could you imagine how much angst you could make with them? Then there's the pie that Susie and Torio made, or at least something related to it. It is also something that I think could become a secret boss. Everyone loves the pie, yes. It was an Undertale, it's still here, but eating it could be counted as discarding it. It's pretty weak, and really, if we're being honest, it definitely won't become a secret boss. Though Toby Fox would do it, he's the type of guy. The landline would probably fit the bill if it wasn't so central, and if the setting was more modern, but alas, that's not the case, and I don't think it's a good contender. Actually, I haven't seen anyone mention this. The chair are like Azir and Chris. One is beloved, Cherio, and the other isn't even interactable. This doesn't really have to do anything with the secret boss, but they could definitely become something in the Dark World. Now I will be talking about the Book of M's. You expect me to say, this might be a darker, but not much else. This is where you're wrong. I actually think this is the second best candidate out of all the objects we see in the house, besides the flowers. If we are correct about each secret boss hinting at the next one, this one could be perfect for the chapter 3 secret boss. Now, this video only talks about chapter 3 because we have a lot less information about the church and how the plot will progress. Also, I don't want this video to feel like it's two different videos in one, especially with the chapter 4 part being based on speculation. But back to the main point. Azir was connected to the church and the choir. Azir wasn't home, so the book is no longer used. It is forgotten. If it isn't a secret boss, I'm sure it will be something important. And you're listening to this and you may think I'm crazy. Yet, I found a free Reddit thread with somehow almost the exact same prediction. How's this real? The thread actually has a different theory that appeals to me. It's the games console. I guess it isn't really something I thought about in my playthroughs, but they make a really good point. Did you know it could get even crazier? It is time for my crack theory. If Mike is the name of the secret boss, what if the secret boss is born from an old bike Azir or Chris rode around on, but then abandoned? It's a Mac bike, a Mike bike. I think the only place where this goes wrong is we haven't heard anything about bikes being used by the Dreamers. We only see Alphas on a bike in chapter 2, but that's what crack theories are for, right? Phew. Well, that was easy. Editing isn't so bad, and I got a video out pretty quick. There's not much left to talk about, right? Right? So, this is awkward. Most of this speculation could be all useless, because the TV might be the main point, the Dark World, instead of the whole house. We definitely know some elements of the house will be in it, at least the ones really close to the TV. But we see the dark eyes in the trailer, and there are almost certainly these things on the window, so not all hope is lost. I predict we will have a big lively part with all the TV elements, and darker parts with the vibe similar to the cliffs in chapter 1. This could be all wrong, as we haven't seen any TV overworld clips, and mostly just the outer edges, but it could be Toby Fox not wanting to spoil the main dish too much. Still, it's worth to cover the possible candidates. Also, going back to the themes of the secret bosses, any TV program could work, as the TV was unplugged probably for a while, but a specifically cancelled one would make even more sense. Might as well get the inevitable Woody or cowboy theory out of the way. Toby Fox made a frankly really strange video called Friend Inside Me, which you can see right now. In addition to it, the fan gang shooting in the trailer maybe will create fan bosses with the Western theme, or something very similar. Like this absolutely incredible one, check out the whole thing in the description. It's a really funny trend, or whatever you call it, but I personally don't subscribe to it. What I said about the Book of M's can also be true here. I'm sure Torio has watched religious programs on TV. Here is where I would just repeat the same points if I were to drag out the video, but I don't. There were quite a few programs Dicey mentioned that they wanted to marathon, but to me they don't seem likely, as they're still running and were blatantly said. Same thing goes for the Godzilla program, the cooking one, and the weather forecast. This is also why I don't believe the weather duo would be the secret boss, as they have been 1. Showcased by Toby, 2. A weather forecast may be the most consistently running program on TV, so I don't see the theory. And here is my last theory for today. As mentioned, the secret boss could be a cancelled program, so I think a cancelled sitcom, or rom-com, or anything in a similar boat, where a character from there went insane, either because of a laugh track or a fake life they were living, or because of the cancellation. Mike is a pretty average name, so that's my main piece of evidence. But if you're going to stretch it to Mr. Fantastic, you can say that Spamtons don't trust anything you see on TV, reversed to a sitcom promising a perfect life, when Mike was actually in pain. Yeah, it's not the best, but I think it's pretty fun. Thank you for sticking around for this low-quality yap session, and for hearing me out. This is my love letter to Deltarune, as we go into chapters 3 and 4. It's also my foray into video making, but don't expect any more anytime soon, because I wanted to make these videos for myself, and art takes inspiration, time, and so many other things. See you in the light, stay determined, and stay proud.